So, what's up bitches, I'm back. And I wanted to do this video because I feel like this will give people a lot of clarity and hopefully you can just steal my exact strategy and how I got clients from my SMMA agency when I was just getting started. You can literally go and see on my YouTube channel, I was like, I'm going to start this agency. I think it was maybe not a year ago, but just under a year ago. I was like, I'm going to start my own agency, I'm going to do it. And I ended up getting 4 clients in the first 60 days. So I'm going to show you exactly how I did that. I'm going to show you exactly what I said to them, you know, what it looked like in terms of booking calls, what it looks like in terms of closing them, and what it looked like in terms of service delivery. So let's jump straight in. So the key to it, and you know, what I would say moderately successful, able to get 4 clients in 2 months, was first off having consistent outreach. So, you know, a lot of people, they want to achieve this goal, but they just don't have anything that's consistently booking calls for them. So what I was doing, I was cold calling people every day. I had a minimum of 50 people I would cold call in a day. And usually, you know, I was quite good at that because I'd worked in sort of sales jobs in the past. So, you know, don't panic if you're not getting results as good as that, or you're not getting that many calls booked from 50. Even if you get 1, it's still a successful day. And, you know, with cold calling, if you're scared of it, you know, what you're going to be more scared of, waking up when you're 80 and, you know, being still broke, still being a job that you hate, or, you know, getting a no once of a stranger. And as I've said in past videos, you know, usually like 80% of people are just nice to you anyway. Like, it's not even that scary. But just once you get past the first call, everything becomes easier. So just grow some balls and go for it. But consistent outreach. So, you know, the reason I was able to do this is because I had my goals. I knew what I wanted to get, in, you know, in a certain amount of days. So I reverse engineer that and think, well, how many calls do I need to get booked? And my average closing rate was like 15 to 20%. So what I would do, I would send 50 LinkedIn messages a day and I would do 50 cold call messages. And the way to do this, I did actually buy LinkedIn Premium at first. So I would suggest doing that. And then what you can do is go on the keywords. Say you would do mortgage advisors like I was doing. Type in mortgage advisors. It's going to give you all the leads. Look at the profiles. Find out if they're director or not, because it says on the profile on LinkedIn if they're a director. And then I would send them a message. And even though this worked absolutely amazing for me, and I was able to get 3 clients from this and one from cold call in the first 60 days. But the clients from LinkedIn, I did actually send like a big sort of message script. And I used to get, you know, a very low response rate out of that. Maybe like, you know, 3 or 4 people respond out of 50 messages, which is still a lot better than doing an email or anything like that, because I probably get 1 out of like 200 messages, calls booked, that is. But what I would say if you're going to do it again, first of all, I would start with an intro message, you know, hey, I see you work at, you're the owner of, you know, XX Financial. Would you like to get more of X amount of clients, or, you know, X to these clients? It was in my case. And, you know, this is a much better strategy because I feel like what I did wrong in the beginning, sending the big pitch out, a lot of people don't have the time to read it. They don't want to give you the time of day. So send something that's going to get their attention first, a little message that shows, you know, exactly what you do, and then go into the pitch. And then my second message would look something like this. It'd be like, you know, we help you, the person, so mortgage advisors, get more of X client, and I can guarantee at least a 3 or 4x increase in that amount of client for you in the first 60 days of working with us, or we'll refund the ad spend, or we'll work for free, or something along them lines. And in terms of creating an offer, what you always want to do is reverse the risk from the person. So as a business owner, they're smart, they're switched on, they know that like they've got to take risks to make money, but they're also very risk averse. So what you want to do when you do your pitch on LinkedIn, with your offer, make sure it reverses some of the risks that they're going to take on you, and you'll be surprised the amount of, you know, calls you get booked in. And what I used to do as well, the second message, I would put my Calendly link directly in it. So what you want to do is go to Calendly, create a call where you ask some questions. So it might be, you know, how soon are you looking to get started? Are you ready to invest in your business? I'll drop them I'll get the editor to put them in the video. But what you can do with this is just qualify them. So when they book into Calendly, they answer a few questions, and that qualifies them before you ever speak to them. But a lot of the time when you're beginning, you're probably going to take the call anyway, and it's good for practice, but make sure you call record every single call that you do. So yeah, the first step is being consistent with your outreach. Getting, you know, what I would suggest is, you know, 50 cold calls a day. So I'm just going to put CC for cold calls. Or if you're doing LinkedIn, I would suggest 50 again, LinkedIn messages. And by the way, my handwriting is terrible, as you can see. Don't really care. But yeah, start with that. So as a strategy, this is exactly what I did. I did 50 cold calls, 50 LinkedIn messages. And what I think worked well with mine, and why I was able to get these 4 clients in the first 60 days, is because it was very niche. So, you know, what I would recommend, and a lot of people do talk about this already on YouTube, is niche down, find something specific. So when you send this message to people on LinkedIn, it calls out to that person. You're like, well, there's not many other people offering this. They might not have heard someone who's able to do this exact specific job for them before. So make your message very niche, very personalized to them. And by personalized, it doesn't mean you need to go, oh, I've seen your work, and, you know, I've seen a picture of your dog and things like that, which people say. I don't tend to do that. I just like to go straight for the throat, and present them with value. I can get you more of this rare client or one of your best clients. So another thing that really made these LinkedIn messages successful is because I did my research before I sent the message. I found out what type of client they wanted, what client paid the most, what was the easiest for them, and which one, if they could only do one client, what client would they do? And it was the one that I was pitching to them on the messages. So that's why I got a good response for that. Second of all, this is the sales call. Now, I actually did drop a video yesterday on what you need to do on a sales call. But what I would recommend, and a mistake I did make, is doing Zoom calls. From now, I would say don't do Zoom calls, just do phone calls, because it's much easier to get your tonality right. You act way more relaxed because you can't see you. As a lot of the times, I think, I fucked up sales calls because, I was doing weird body language and, you're nervous and that's natural, which is going to happen. But always do a phone call as the sales mechanism. You do your outreach, 50 a day, you got your 50 cold call and 50 LinkedIn. That's what I'd recommend. You can do email if your niche are on there. Do your research, find out what your niche are. But if you want to copy my exact strategy, that's what I did. I did cold calling and LinkedIn as the main ones. Next, the aim of this message is to get them booked in to your Calendly. So this goes to your Calendly, which you'll set up. Go to calendly.com. I don't know if it's called .com. You'll find it on the internet. To the phone call, on your Calendly, when you make the call, I would call it like a strategy session, 30-minute strategy session, something that's non-aggressive, something that's just going to get them interested and think, I'm going to get some value out of this. You can add the questions in, which I definitely recommend doing. So yeah, I don't know if you can see that in the camera, it's going to be blurry, but I'd labeled it free 30-minute growth strategy session. And then what I would do is ask these questions here. So the questions I actually asked were, your business website, if you have one, doesn't matter, NA. So if they don't have one, they can put NA. The second question I asked is, what is your current monthly revenue? Then the third question is, what is your target monthly revenue? What do you think the biggest obstacle is stopping you from hitting your monthly revenue goal? Can't speak today. How able are you to invest in the growth of your business right now? If you get accepted, how soon are you able to get started? And finally, what makes you different from other applications and why we should work with you? And they are the 7 questions I ask. Now, the last question as well is hugely powerful. Why should we work with you? Because this flips the switch on them essentially, and this gets them in a good state before they even jump on the call with you. Because 99% of the time they are selling themselves to you. Then on that last question, like, yo, I'm good to work with because people love working with me, or I've been in the business for 25 years plus, or I've got the best reviews on Google, and already they begin to sell themselves to you, and it puts you in a much better state for the call already. Yeah, so you do your LinkedIn, you got your call booked, and now you need to close them on the call. Which, as I said, you've got another video. I've got another video on my channel that shows you how to do that. So you close the client. So let's just assume you've closed the client. And what you want to do now is the actual service delivery. So what the service delivery is for you is going to be different depending on what you're doing. But say you're doing the run-of-the-mill Facebook ads, which I was doing. So I was running Facebook ads to generate leads through lead forms. So I'd run a simple ad that was emotive. What I like to do as well is ask the financial advisor or the mortgage broker, whoever I was working with, for a video. So I would script a video for them of them talking on camera, and I could use ChatGPT to script that for them, which I did. And these ads worked absolutely amazing. I was getting leads for around about £20 a piece. And on average, if they close that client, then they would get like roughly $3,500 minimum per client. So now you've got the client, you've set them up, you've added yourself to the ads manager, you've set them up a page and built them an ad account. So now you want to deliver the service. And what I would say you need for this is you need the Facebook ads. So you've uploaded the client's, card details to the ad account. And then what you want to do is get Zapier. So Zapier is what's going to change the game for you because, in this day and age, if you're just running Facebook lead ads as your service delivery, and I'm just going to SD service delivery, if you can understand that handwriting. But, that's not enough just to get a lead, because at the end of the day, one of the biggest mistakes I did, and it actually lost me clients, I'd run the ads, deliver the leads to them, and just expect them to do their job. When a lot of the time, they need helping, you need to push them to actually follow up with the leads, because a lot of them actually are lazy, especially if you work with good clients. They have money already, and, they're not always the most motivated. So what you want to do, if you set up your Facebook leads campaign, you then want to set up Zapier so that when the lead comes through, it's automatically going to send a text to the client's phone so they can follow up with that, potential lead as soon as possible. Because the faster you follow up with the lead, the better results you're going to get, the more people you're going to close, the leads are going to remember what you're talking about. A lot of the time, one of the issues I had is before I had the Zapier set up is they'd get the lead form and then they wouldn't ring them for a day or two or, even 8 hours. They ring the person up and they're like, who are you? I don't even remember filling out the lead form. So it's so easy to get your service delivery right. Even if you're doing something as simple as lead forms, make sure you've got Zapier set up. automatically sends it to the client's phone. Then they've got no excuse. If they're not following up with the leads, then that's on them. And you know, I've also done another video where I offer you a Google sheet where you can track all the metrics. So if you ever have an issue with the client saying, oh, you're not getting the results, you can look at the sheet and you can literally see where the issue is, whether it's you, whether it's them not following up with the leads. And this is just going to allow you to get more clients, because when you show this to a client, you know, and you're getting it to the phone, their value versus what you perceive as value is going to match up, because a lot of the time the reason you'll lose a client is because your perceived value of these leads is a lot higher than how they perceive them. You know, maybe they're not closing them because they're not following up fast enough, because you haven't got the Zapier set up, or you know, maybe they're low quality leads because you're not asking enough questions in the lead form. So you just need to make sure you're getting it right. And this is something you can adjust. The more you do it, you can add more questions to the lead forms to qualify the client before they speak to them. You can have that set up as a, you know, a text message notification, or you could even pre-qualify the leads before the client speaks to them. Because in this day and age, you have to get amazing results, or you're not going to have a business for very long. So yeah, in terms of my strategy, you know, that was it. As I said, start with 50 LinkedIn messages a day, start 50 cold calls, get them booked into your Calendly, send them the Calendly link straight away, ask them a few questions on the Calendly, which I've just gone over with you. Close the client, use my sales script that I put in a previous video, and then to deliver results, most of the time it's going to be Facebook lead ads. Make sure you've got it connected to Zapier, so when the lead comes through, it sends automatically to the client's phone, and you're going to do amazing. So I hope you enjoyed this video. You know, this is a short video, but this is literally exactly what I did to get my first 4 clients from my agency, and you can go and steal this and do exactly the same, and just hopefully it gives you a bit of clarity around it. So if you like this video and you want to see more videos like it, drop me a follow, and I'll be doing 3 videos a week. So see you guys soon.